Man, I'm exhausted. My body's tired and I just hurt. I went to go over there and lube up the doors and everything like that, and that lock on that front door was just not working. So I had to go to the store and buy a new lock for it and replace it. And now we got one that's working. So I knew I had to. I just didn't want to, but it's not that bad. They're like $40 though. So you go and you get $40. You put this new lock on the door, and you're okay. It's a drag. Yeah, it's a total drag because the door, everything's kind of cattywampus on it. So you have to like jerry rig it to make it fit and work just right, and it's a real pain in the ass. So, yeah, it's definitely a cusser, you know. But when I was leaving, I talked to neat people. I always talk to neat people in town, especially the young people, and they're with their parents. They're so beautiful. It's just, you know, they make you smile all over. And that one lady, oh gosh, the older lady, she was just amazing. She was so sweet. It was beautiful. We talked about the wisdom of Solomon and growing old and the beautiful gift of growing old. She was just wonderful. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. All you people that want to get rid of the warehouse and get rid of the old, I am going to kick you in the dick and the vajayjay so hard. Okay. You'll never think that way again. Right. When I was leaving, I saw a kid walking in the parking lot. I pulled over and I told him, I said, you know, the most beautiful woman in the world is your wife. She loves you. You know, celebrities want lots of money to fuck. And that woman loves you, you know. And he sat there and he goes, you're right. I go, yeah, you got a wife, you're fortunate enough to have a wife at home? Yeah. When you go home tonight, remind her just how beautiful she is and how much you love her. I said, thank you. It's like, you're welcome. And then I was driving home and they played a song by Barbra Streisand. I dreamed of you. And so you're listening because the one I love to the end is like, there is no end. No. There's no fucking end. 10,000 years of Pharaoh trying to kill Moses, of Judah and the rest throwing him in a pit and selling him to the Egyptians, of Daniel being thrown into the lion's den, of David being betrayed and everybody being jealous of him, you know, of Jesus being offered up as a pagan war god to a bunch of pagans. You know, there is no end. You know, it never ends. You know, that's a limerick written by somebody that's being romantic, or they think they're being romantic, but they're doing it for money and not to live the Lord's Prayer. The man I love until the end, life's eternal, grace is infinite. I haven't had somebody stand up side by side with me for the Lord's Prayer for a long time. All your friends, they said that song was about the bass player that was leaving the group. I won't admit that it's part of a scheme, but I ain't kind of have my suspicions because they ain't quite as dumb. He's the dude from Mike and the Mechanics. Can you hear me? Can you hear me calling? He's the lead singer. I was like, wow, what happened to that dude? It's like he became the lead singer of Mike and the Mechanics. Oh, get the fuck out of here. He's the gun and ammunition guy just outside the doorway and Living Years guy. I did not know that. Did you guys know that? I know a lot of you Googlers know that, Wikipedians. But I did not know. I'm like, well, who's the dude from Ace? Well, where did he go? You know, what happened? Like the dude from Climax, he was like on 3 different bands. Precious and few are the moments we two can share. He was the lead singer for like 3 different bands. And you're like, where? Okay. Oh, that's why they call them one-hit wonders. And you're like, what? Where'd you go? Okay. And they're really not. Okay. Like Major Harris. Okay. Major Harris isn't a one-hit wonder. Okay. That's his one hit after he left the Delphonics. Okay. But before the Delphonics, you know, I gave my heart and soul to you, girl. Didn't I do it, baby? Didn't I do it, baby? Gave you a love you never knew, girl. Didn't I do it, baby? Didn't I do it, baby? 10 times a fool as I walk out the door. Okay, so that's Major Harris singing on that. And hey love, you're in love. Okay, that's also Major Harris. So Major Harris was not a one-hit wonder. Okay, he would by himself. He had one hit. You know, like Jimmy Jimi Kendricks, Eddie Kendricks, like, keep on trucking me. I think that was like his only hit by himself. Right? So they're not really one-hit wonders. And then they said that about Hamilton, Joe Franklin Reynolds. I was like, no, I think that don't pull your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down and cry for 100 years. What about that big right ring? Doesn't that mean love to you? Doesn't that mean anything? If I threw away my pride and I got down on my knees. I don't know how high that one charted, but that's also that one I heard on the radio quite frequently when I was a kid. That was Hamilton, Joe Franklin Reynolds. I also thought Baseline's Every Kind of People was Hamilton, Joe Franklin was, but it wasn't. It was Robert Palmer and Baseline, right? So, but those were the days, and you knew who you were then. Gals were gals and men were men. But I am teaching the technology, okay? How to be like David, Solomon, and Jesus. That one lady, she sat there and we talked, and she said, well, Solomon was a bad guy. He didn't follow his own advice and wisdom. And I tried to explain to her, okay, Brad Pitt's faithful, okay? And Brad Pitt won't abuse women, treat them like property. I was going to use Brad Pitt as a character in one of the books I wrote about the Vincent plantation, the Pickett plantation, and the Freemans, right? Because there's the Picketts, Brad Pitt, he would be the perfect Harlan Pickens, because Pickens, he seduced the women, right? And they fell in love with him, but they all started fighting over him. Okay. And he thought he was doing them a favor. He's going to buy them. They're going to be slaves anyway. He might as well have it where you got a hot massa who's fun to have sex with. He's romantic and he's charming, right? Now, this woman was, that's what she was making out Solomon and David to be. And I was trying to explain to her, no, okay, they're all going to own slaves anyway. Okay. It didn't work with Harlan Pickens in the South because they weren't living the Lord's Prayer and these women were property. Okay. That wasn't Solomon. I tried to explain to them that. Solomon and David did not ruin these women's lives. It's not Brad Pitt's fault that 300 women would rather marry them than be married to a misogynistic, creepy jerkface who treats women like their property and treats his kids like their property and treats them like crap. Teaches the boys to be like, a dog fart. Like on, what's the name of that movie? Y'all know that movie. Twilight, yeah, me and Corey's favorite. Twilight Club Forever, right? And so, damn, I am connecting to that crazy lady every time I connect to at the store. Okay, but, so, yeah. Well, she gets all mad at me because she's like trying to say that, hang in there. There's like Gabe does to me. There's still hope for romance for you, Uncle Earl, right? And then, I try to do that, and then you act like freaking Hank Williams with Minnie Pearl. There ain't no light for me, Minnie Pearl. Okay. So we're living the Lord's Prayer. I'm the only light. Hank Williams, I'm not a drug addict or an alcoholic that believes I can keep everybody happy and pay their bills by singing songs on the road 24/7, 365 days of the year. It's the same old fuck, right? So, you know me, I'm the Messiah, seriously. I mean, gosh, come on. Hello, make burgers, make flies, right? So, Earl, what? Yeah, it's interesting, though. But, my thing is with Max and Emmy's mom is, go be happy. I'll get this cleaned up and then stay happy, Well, because some people, the roving kind, man, if you're a kizzy, right, you're a stay put kind of person. You don't want somebody that comes from gypsies, transynthes, and transhumans type people. You're going to make her miserable, and she's going to make you miserable. She's going to constantly, we got to go to the dingleberries. We got to go to this. We got to go to that. You make me get up and screw up my garden one more time. And I am only going to kiss you under the mistletoe every 4 years. I'm going to ask you, what are you doing New Year's Eve? Okay, that's it. Go off, you can dance every dance with the guy who likes to travel the world with you and say, funny, you're a girl who goes traveling rather than settling down. And if you love children, okay, and you want to have them be the traveling Wilburys, well, you go get your Wilbury boy and you get your Wilbury on, baby girl. Mm-hmm. Some people are just, they've got to be traveling. They got to be, they can't stay put. I'm the type of person, I was raised in a 40 block radius my whole life, and I like it here. Okay. I'm going hiking. This is my Gila, and this is my spot. Okay, Sheldon. Well, the wind comes. This has a cross breeze. This has the and perfect viewing of the television, right? So, which is why this is my spot. This is where I put the chair because it's where the cross breeze. Yeah, all the stuff that Sheldon does and the perfect view of the. I set up the thing to have the perfect view. So this is my spot, right? I think most people that are intelligent understand stuff like that and do that. Oh, come on. You don't sit there and say, okay, I want that ventilated. This brings in the best cross breeze. This is the most comfortable spot. This is where it's coolest. That's the best view. I put the TV there so it has the best view there. This is my spot. This is my story. This is my spot, right? So, and this is where I recover from being mind fucked by pervert scientists that think their brain is better than God. Like the cute little boy. He was so adorable. How can you kill God? He still did it. Yeah, he had the bad information. Jesus died to save us from all our sin. It's like he died saving us by teaching us not to sin. And he lives eternally. And the little girl in the cart, she goes, he's still alive? And I went up to the man who was pushing her cart. Yeah, he lives. Patted him on the back. Right here. That's where he lives. He loves you. Okay. Yes, Jesus loves me. He gets up. He pays his bills. He makes sure that the power's on. He makes sure that the water's hot. He makes sure the refrigerator works right. He makes sure that you have Halloween costumes. He makes sure that you have Christmas stockings. He makes sure that you have turkey for Thanksgiving. He makes sure that there's candy for other kids on Halloween. Yes, I love Jesus, right? He's the best reflection of an American Jesus that he can be until the real American Jesus showed up and said, forgive debt and trespass and love one another, you've forsaken us. And then he said, he's right. He's the body of Christ. His name is Earl. Dad's name is Ralph. First archangel of the apocalypse. Son of Mary, son of Mary, son of Mary. People say he's a fairy, but he just does that to piss off people that have macho bullshit issues. I was born in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Is that better? Thanks, Max and Enemies, Mommy. Bok, Easter Bunny. Okay. You just, you have fun. You do your traveling wheelberries. You have your fun. One day we'll meet and we'll be good friends just like me and Jad Jackson. Don't tempt me, Frodo. Don't flirt with me. You and Janet, go flirt with some other man toy that you playing with. I don't want to be, no flirt. No flirt. I already told you, you're just as attractive as Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah. And just as dumb. I'm just kidding. I love this guy. I get it, guys. I get it. I understand why I say that. It's because other people say that. I love this guy. Are you not entertained? Is that way better than the ego expression of buy my stuff and I'll give you money for college from Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA to Dayers? Yeah. See why I dropped out of basketball? And see why I stood up for the Lord's Prayer? Orale! All the way. Orale! All the way. Orale! Vato Claus took over. Okay, guys. I love you. Peace.